Coming up on CityView, Warrant Round-Up. Texans with outstanding warrants could face jail time. Science Fest. Central Texas students advance to the State Science Fair. And People's Gallery will give you a preview of the newest art exhibit at City Hall. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Leslie Sopko. Those stories and more. But first, Mayor Lee Leffingwell recently gave his State of the City address to a packed house at City Hall. In his remarks, the mayor called for an election in November 2012 that would give Austin voters a chance to weigh in on urban rail, bond investments for housing, parks, libraries, and open space, and city charter amendments that would add geographic districts to the city council.
Tuesday, November 6th, 2012, will potentially be a landmark date for this city. On that day, Austin voters will consider a whole range of major new investments in our future, including urban rail, as well as proposals that could fundamentally reshape how City Hall works. Without a doubt, it will be the most pivotal single election in Austin in a generation, arguably among the most important in our city's 170-year history.
Mayor Leffingwell also laid out his goals for job creation, saying Austin should focus on developing renewable energy, life sciences, and creative media companies. The mayor said that Austin needs a new downtown hotel to expand the city's convention business.
Over the course of 2010, the Austin area has added 15,000 new jobs, dropping our metro unemployment rate from 7 to 6.8%. It's true that the rate is higher in some parts of our community, but as compared to the state unemployment rate of 8% and the national rate of 9.1%, it's clear that Austin has fared pretty well overall. What we know is that Austin is missing out on tens of millions of dollars in convention business every year because we lack sufficient hotel space downtown. So I'm going to use this year's speech to set a goal, and that goal is this. Austin, Texas will break ground on a new downtown hotel of 800 rooms or more within the next 12 months.
You can see the entire State of the City address online at austintexas.gov/Channel 6 or read the full text at mayorleffingwell.com. Pay your fines or go to jail. That's the message from more than 240 law enforcement agencies across the state. The Great Texas Warrant Roundup begins March 5th, which means anyone with an outstanding arrest warrant will be picked up.
This is actually a yearly event it's really an opportunity. It's an opportunity for people to hear the voices, the collective voices of the men and women standing behind you, to let you know that in 2 weeks, those of you that have warrants and you will be receiving notice will be going to jail. You do not want to get that knock. You don't want to have that visit at work. You don't want to be embarrassed in your neighborhood by being arrested for something that can be cleared up very simply by coming in on your own.
If you have a pending violation, contact the Austin Municipal Court immediately to resolve your case. The Roundup is designed to target thousands of individuals with outstanding warrants related to traffic and parking violations, as well as city ordinance or code violations. Now let's go to Larry Schooler for a City Council update.
Council decided to change the hours during which parking pay stations will remain active. Paid parking hours will go from 8 to midnight Monday through Saturday in the downtown area and 8 to 6 p.m. elsewhere. The downtown area stretches from Interstate 35 to Lamar and from Lady Bird Lake to 10th Street. The measure is designed to increase turnover of on-street short-term parking, capture more revenue for transportation and parking initiatives, help off-street public parking, and improve enforcement. Council decided to transfer property in Central East Austin to the Austin Housing Finance Corporation to develop mixed-income housing. The properties are along Juniper, Curve, and Waller Streets near East 11th and East 12th Streets. The development of mixed-income housing is consistent with the East 11th and 12th Streets Urban Renewal Plan and the East 11th Street Neighborhood Conservation Combining District zoning. The mixed-income housing development will promote diversity within the community. Council authorized a contract to provide downloadable materials for Austin Public Library customers. APL will now begin the process of developing the website customers will use to check out downloadables, selecting ebooks and e-audiobooks for the collection, and training staff. APL expects to launch downloadable service by early fall. Also, Council approved a new chiller and 2 cooling towers at the Falk Central Library. The chiller cools water to distribute to buildings for temperature and humidity control. It replaces a failed unit and one that is near the end of its lifespan. The cooling tower helps with archive storage and preservation. The new units would reduce the facility's electrical demand by the equivalent of 86 tons of carbon dioxide, which is like removing 15 cars from the road or planting around 2,000 trees or 100 acres of forest in Austin's parks. In all, Council considered 59 items at its March 3rd meeting. Its next regularly scheduled meeting is March 10th. For CityView, I'm Larry Schooler.
Austin Energy's Green Building Program is celebrating its 20th anniversary. The nationally recognized program has become a model for others across the country and has helped make Austin an innovator in building codes and community planning. Here's an overview of the program and the first in a series of stories on why green building is good for Austin.
We're Austin Energy Green Building, the first green building program in the country, housed at Austin's own municipal electric utility. We provide very, very low-cost green building consulting and rating services for single-family, multifamily, and commercial buildings. Our projects are often so successful, they become Austin landmarks, like the Austonian, which earned a 4-star green building rating, and the Dell Children's Medical Center of Central Texas, which earned a 5-star rating. On top of our building rating activities, we're big into education and outreach. We put on free monthly professional development seminars, a quarterly workshop on single-family home construction called Green by Design, and we partner to produce the annual Cool House Tour. So, how is it that we're funded by an electric utility when part of our job is to get customers to use less electricity? Well, way back in the 1980s, when hair was crimpier and scrunchies were scrunchier, the Austin City Council saw into the future. They knew that with Austin's projected growth, Austin Energy would have to build more pricey power plants to provide energy for all those new people. So Council created several energy conservation programs to delay the construction of a new power plant. As long as we spend less to save power than Austin Energy would have to spend to build new power plants, we're doing right by the utility, the community, and the planet. If you're interested in having a building rated or participating in some of our educational activities, or just getting involved in green building in Austin, start by visiting our website, and we'll go from there.
For more information, visit austinenergy.com and click on the link to the Green Building website. Thousands of young scientists competed at the Austin Energy Regional Science Festival at Palmer Events Center this year. More than 2,300 science projects were on display from more than 200 elementary, middle, and high schools throughout Central Texas. First through third place junior and senior high winners will advance to the State Science Fair competition in San Antonio at the end of March. We spoke with one student who figured out how to change the atmosphere on Mars.
My project is turning the red planet green, the most nitrogen-fixing, oxygen-producing, ozone-generating, temperature-raising, theoretical planet-changing project ever. It's about making Mars's atmosphere just like Earth's.
The Austin Energy Regional Science Festival is one of the largest of 18 regional science fairs in Texas. Congratulations to all of the students that participated, and thanks to all of the volunteers and judges who made the event a huge success. For photos of students and projects, visit the Austin Energy Facebook page. And finally, the 2011 installation of the People's Gallery was recently unveiled at an opening reception at City Hall. The People's Gallery is a free exhibit that showcases more than 150 pieces of work from local artists. The city also premiered its new Faces of Austin program, which highlights Austin filmmakers.
Tonight, this is once again our annual People's Gallery exhibition that really celebrates and gives us an opportunity to champion those creatives that live here in Austin. We've had a steady progression of submissions every year, and this year we had 1,400 artworks submitted by 322 artists.
It's really exciting that Austin does something like this where anybody that likes to make art is capable of getting their pieces shown in such a beautiful space as well.
One of the pieces I have in the show is called Vicious Venue, and it's a series of vultures they're like pixelated vultures, if you will, and they are devouring this old dead technology. I really feel great about having a piece in City Hall. I mean, like I said earlier, it's a really great way to get a lot of people to see the work that may not see it in the museum or gallery in nonprofit circles.
Also this year, we are going to be premiering Faces of Austin multimedia program. We had 29 short films submitted by 27 filmmakers. We've been able to combine our efforts and have a single celebration of the arts, combining both People's Gallery and the Faces of Austin. A huge celebration, and what a wonderful central place in the heart of our city to really show how much we love our artists.
And that's all for this edition of CityView. I'm your host, Leslie Sopko. Our next episode premieres Friday, March 11th. Thanks for watching.